Welcome to Fellowship of Geeks. I'm Diane.
And I'm Jim.
Today, we are doing another unboxing, a tech unboxing. We have the Keychron V1 Max.
75% wireless mechanical keyboard.
Ooh.
So hopefully you checked out our Q13 Max Ergo keyboard video, which was my first big honking new mechanical everyday keyboard because I needed a new Ergo keyboard, and that one won out, even though the price point was a little higher than I was excited about. But I've been using it about 6 weeks now.
How do you like it?
I really like it. There are a couple little quirks that I'm still getting used to. But I do like having the full keyboard. I like having a number pad. I'm still working on learning to program it right and bend it to my will.
It sounds like it's a good clicky clack.
It has a very thonky clack. It weighs a ton. I mean, it probably weighs 10 pounds, which I like. That's very solid on my desk. It's not moving around. I do have it on a neoprene desk pad, kind of like a big mouse pad, but it doesn't move. It's really good. My skills as a typist, I think, are some of my biggest problems with using it. Not a commentary on the keyboard, more of a commentary on my particular skills. And it is somewhat different than what I've used before. I've had a split one, but my old Microsoft one you would type downhill on, and this one is back to the uphill, which to my understanding now is the current ergonomic best way to do it. I'm
going to put it under things we know. We sometimes learn more and know more. So now we know more. Ergonomic is the other direction.
I'm going to put it into is coffee good or bad for us this week? I can't.
This week,
I can't
exactly.
Remember. It seems like that's a little bit of a moving target, but again, no wrist pain. I don't type a ton, but I do enough that I think I would notice. I don't have a real text heavy job, but I do use it for work and both my everyday keyboard, and I really like it. So, what brings us to my second Keychron?
Yes.
Through the vagaries of my work life, not work-life balance, but my full-on work life, I have acquired for one of our vendors their own laptop. For whatever reason, they wanted us to use their security. Ours wasn't good enough for them. So
laptop keyboards can be a real challenge.
And it's a good size. Like, I think it's bigger than my normal work laptop, which I think I've used 3 times as a laptop and for 6 years as, plugged into the docking station. It is bigger than my work one. It does have a fullish for a laptop keyboard, but my desk space just didn't really allow for it to sit on the desk. And I have it plugged into one of my monitors in my monitor array on my desk for when I'm going to be spending time using it. And so I was like, I want a dedicated keyboard for it because I also need to use my regular work computer for referring to things and doing things on our network and their network at the same time. So I'm bouncing back and forth. So just switching channels on the Keychron was not a great fit.
Maybe since we had the delay with the change in the studio adjacent office, and you're talking about your setup, we're going to have to do some like social media view of your office setup at some point.
My beautiful sit stand, L-shaped desk,
right?
And my multi-monitor array.
And
are there 4? I guess there's 4.
So you needed a new keyboard.
So I needed a new keyboard.
It kind of tucked in.
And I have a zillion janky ones, and I think it even came with whatever, little free one work sends you. And I was like, that's just not going to work because I had been using the Keychron enough, the Q13 Max, where I was spoiled, but I didn't really have the real estate for another full-size keyboard. And I'm going to be using this one almost daily, but not for long periods of time. But I did want another mechanical keyboard, and so I started looking at the options for Keychron. And so the V1 Max quickly rose to the top of the list. It was wireless. It has a good feel to it. It is nowhere near as heavy as the Q13 Max. It is not aluminum,
I was gonna
aircraft
say it
aluminum.
would be hard to be as heavy as the other one.
It is nowhere near that, and it is about as wide as my laptop. So in my little laptop stand, it tucks very nicely into that without getting into that top row of keys too bad. So without further ado, let's bust her open. So it's Keychron V1 Max, 75% mechanical keyboard. Let's see if we can slide her out there. All right, nice double box here, which is always good with a slider. Let's see if I can get my big old
They do box these really nicely.
Sausage fingers in there and get this guy out. All right. There we go. We'll set that aside. Hopefully a cat won't come inside and join it.
I'm sure they will.
So they remind us, please be gentle when you're putting your replaceable keys in. So it does have a fully replaceable keys. Got the nice little piece of foam there protecting it. And right off the bat, we have our good V1 Max wireless mechanical keyboard user manual, and it's pretty chunky. Tells you about controlling it. You can see a little cable floating in there. It's kind of hiding in the black to charge it, and also if you're going to plug it in and control it. Got our various switches, so I don't want to look at the boring manual. Let's look at the actual keyboard. So goodies it comes with, really nice. I love it. It used to be a thing in the past when it came with the iron ferrite core that was on there. Not a lot of cables come with that, but to cut down on interference, it's there. Nice fabric keyboard, nice gold-plated USB-C ends on there. So nice, and it's a good long cable too. It looks like I'd guess that's a good 6-footer. So if you want to still use it, or as you're programming it, it's nice to have a little bit of distance.
That is nice.
We have our extra keys here. Bonus inner key. Looks like there's a insert key, which is one of the ones I need to switch out on my Q13 Max. I do not have that on there. And
I used to use that a lot. I don't find that I do as much anymore.
Yeah, I do more when I'm typing in forms and different things like that. The little satchel one, I have to assume that is some sort of Apple one that I just don't know. And hiding down in there is the Windows key, which we'll show you in a second, but that will definitely get switched out for aesthetics. Also have some gold screws that go on the bottom. We'll show you those in a minute. There's your adapter there. If you do not have a USB-C connector, you can go C to A for your charging and or programming. And then also have your key pullers so you can get in there and move your tools around. So enough of the goodies in the box. A nice foam. There's the V1 Max. Comes in this almost foamy little bag there. Those are nice. So there is the V1 Max. So you can see it's got the, again, I'm assuming that is a Apple thing. I'm not much of an Apple user.
I do like that it comes so interchangeable.
Right.
Whether you're an Apple, a Linux, or a Windows user. So
wasn't a big deal not to have the number pad, because I was definitely looking to cut down in size, even though on my regular one I want that, and even on my personal laptop I have a number pad because I really like that. Miss not having it. The bitten piece that I really kind of fell in love with on the Q13 Max was the volume knob. Now you can program it and use it for a whole bunch of different stuff, and it does not show up great there. Now it's on the other side. So on my Q13 Max, so I'm used to reaching over on the other side to adjust my volume, but it also has a micro switch in it, so you can just hit it and mute the volume.
Oh, wow.
And it's really nice, and I like that, just to be able to control that. My old Microsoft Ergo they were push button back and forth. I really like the mechanical knob, being able to turn the volume. So that was one of the things I was looking at. I'm like, what are things I like that are I don't want to miss out on having? Like the arrow keys.
Definitely.
That is one of the quirks about the Q13 Max, just the way they're aligned. It is not intuitive, and when I'm using the number pad, because they're so tightly tucked in there, I will catch one of those invariably. And so that's one of those things that I'm still getting used to and and teaching myself around. But
those will throw you off really bad. Every once in a while, I'll forget that the num lock is off on my laptop, and I'll be typing in numbers, and I'm like, where has the mouse gone? The cursor has moved all over.
And we have a variety of other systems that you log into them, and it's like, oh, I'm going to turn your num lock off, and you're, go over there, your num key to type your password in. You're like, why didn't my letters go in? Dummy, use the number keys up there, and don't be so
dependent.
Be more efficient. Right. So I'm working on my efficiency.
So it is nice to have full size.
It has It has a full function key row, and again, can program. And I'm a pretty regular user of most of my function keys, but it's nice to be able to reprogram any of them. I also like having your pig up and pig down there, or page up and page down. Pig up, I see Catarl. I see pig up. I see Dell. There's no any key. Good old home key. I do use the home key more often than not. Option, again, I'm guessing that is more of an Apple thing. That's not one of your standard ones. So I've got some of the other keys can replace that, but we'll have to learn to be more efficient there. But I do like that your enter key is nice and red and calls out to you, and so is your escape key. Those are ones I use a lot. I do like the juxtaposition of the kind of the dark gray and the slatier gray. And again, has a good feel. It is not as heavy as the Q13 Max, but again, I think this was $70 or $80 on Amazon, and the Q13 was over $200, and those are pretty comparable to what Micro Center had them for too. And I'm like, so you're certainly getting a nice fancy keyboard, but it is not the top of the line Cadillac model. And they even have better now. They don't have it in Ergo yet, but they now have the magnetic ones. They've come out, and I saw the price on those, and those were $400. I'm like,
holy cow!
It's like when I see little, hey, you got your little runabouts or these little UTVs and stuff. I'm like, I've paid considerably less than a car. I'm like, I just can't see it, even if I had more money and good sense. So there's your standard keyboard layout. Again, it is a 75% good full-size keys within that 74%. Just no number key. I do like you have page up and page down. I'm a fairly frequent user of those, and it is nice to have the home key, but I do really like the volume key. And then
it's got a good clicky clack like your other one though too. Yeah. So it's a solid
typing. It has,
yes,
you can hear it has a nice, I start bringing up, can't see it, but you can hear it. Show, don't tell. There we go. All right. So also has, if you so choose to not use Bluetooth, it's got your 2.4 megahertz dongle that you can plug into your USB, and those, they snap right in there, nice and tight. And then have your switch here if you have Mac, or if you have Windows, be sure to set that when you go to one or the other, because they will not play nice with one another. Your USB-C port, which is really, really hard to see because it's so black on black there.
There you go.
For charging. And then there were the extra little gold screws that were in the box. Mm-hmm. So if you lose one of those or want to take it apart and change it out, you've got your little gold screws holding it together. But again, it is hefty for a basic keyboard. The El Cheapo, ones that come with your Dell or whatever.
Yes.
Doesn't have near that much weight, and then all the keys are removable. And I think these are the red cherry switches. Make sure I get that right. Don't want to. They're the red Graviton Jupiter switches. So as you can see on there, if you want to swap those out and replace those, and again, all the keys, all the switches are replaceable if you don't like the look and the feel. When they get back in stock, they're like Banana Boat or something like that is the one. And I think just reading about them, like, oh, I think I would like to try that when I really go down the rabbit hole of customizing and messing with the different keyboards. But again, for the purposes of just being a laptop keyboard that is kind of a tertiary piece, I really like this one.
So you've used this some, and it's a 75%. And I needed to ask because our little guy has a much smaller laptop. It's not a Chromebook, but it's a much smaller laptop than
he has
ours.
A pretty thin Lenovo.
I struggle a lot typing on his laptop because the keyboard is considerably smaller. The keys are much closer together, and I'm off home keys immediately. Mm-hmm. And so everything becomes I usually get halfway through a sentence or a paragraph before I realize it, though. Too.
And I'm so used to using a split kind of ergo keyboard. When I use a non-ergo one, it takes me a little consideration to where to place my hands. And I'm always like, oh, where's the happy little nub? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, my hands are right.
So I know we're turned, but if you turn this towards you,
okay,
and kind of put on the keys there, because you said this is not bad to type from.
It is not.
It doesn't feel as tiny as some of the keyboards, even though it's a 75%.
Right, and the keys are still full size.
Okay.
Where you lose in your 75% is your actual amount of desk space or footprint it takes up. So there's no number key. There are some very rudimentary additional keys, but usually you have 6 of the function keys on your standard keyboard, and this just has the 3. And again, one of the ones you can program is like insert, delete, home, page up, page down, or some of those that are in your standard one. And so, and you can reprogram and do whatever you want. And even some of those you can change out if you want to put your insert key in there, if you don't use page up. And like, and to think about, I almost never use page up. I use page down all the time. And like, if I want to page up, I'm like, I don't want to go up a page. I want to go back to the top. And so I'll hit home and take me back to where I'm starting on whatever it is. But I mean, yeah, again, it is not as chonky, but it still has a very satisfying click. It's a nice, I mean, the both of them have the Jupiter switches on them, so your key press is identical. The Q13 Max, the keys are cupped a little bit more.
I was just going to ask about that because I know we talked about that with the Q13 a lot, was how it was cupped and how your fingers fit in them.
And because of my poor typing skills, I think more than anything, I struggle with that a little bit because sometimes I'm like, I'm sliding around and I'm like, oh, you're trying to hold me in the cup there. But I think if I was going to type big blocks of text, I would certainly want to use it more than this. This, you're typing a paragraph here and there, you're typing an email. And again, I do lots of, one-off little form type things within my day job is good there. So let me grab the Q13 Max and just kind of show them the comparison between the two.
Ooh, a compare and contrast sounds awesome. I like that idea.
Oh, Lord. Forgot to put my weight belt on.
It is considerably heavier, though, to look at. So.
Oh, and look, there's cat fur on there.
Imagine, where did that come from?
Our cat's not going to show up. Our cat fur does have to show up.
Listen, I don't know that they're not showing up. I feel like we had to shoo one off to get started.
He was laying on the box when we were
the whole time you're talking. The other one has been over here begging for pets off the floor. So
yeah. So see, in your number key, I get thrown off there because I'm used to that big 0 key.
Yes.
On a standard number pad, and I'll go and I'll miss that and get in between, or I'll go back. So that is one, and it has to do as much with the ergo layout as the smaller one. But I mean, this would not have worked for using with that laptop and tucking under the laptop stand. But again, you can. And again, this is a plastic body, and this is hopefully that came through a little bit on the microphone, but is much heavier. But again, and even this though, I mean, I got to kind of work it. This one, I need to actually push to get it to move. So it is certainly bigger and heavier. And for all the time use, it's perfect for the hour a day, 45 minutes every other day or so I'm going to use it. This is perfect, tucks away, and it still has a lot of that same feel. It has the programmability on it, and gives me a lot of options. That was why I went there. But I'm definitely in love with Keychrons. If you're looking for that big full-size one and you want an ergo, I cannot recommend the Q13 Max enough. If you're looking for something a little smaller footprint, you're not tied to having the number pad, you don't want something that weighs 10 pounds. This one's much easier, and I think if I do work with my personal laptop away from my desk, I would even be tempted to take this one with me and use that, because as good as the keyboard on my personal laptop is, I'm like, if I'm typing more than a little bit, I'm like, I'm all over the place, and I'm like, why am I off a letter on everything? I'm typing in Pig Latin now,
And I struggle, you and I have very similar laptops. We may have the same laptop. I like a laptop for the ease of movement and convenience. When I'm doing a lot of typing, though, the extra space where a touchpad goes that you have to reach over to get to the keyboard is sometimes a hassle and can be distracting trying to type.
Right, and mine's turned off. Like I turn my touchpads off because I can't stand them. And when I got my first Lenovo that had the little, and I think I had an HP that had two that had the little
nub,
that was in the middle there. Loved that. I'm like, oh, touchpads, Lenovo. You should have kept with those. So,
but just reaching over the touchpad is a struggle as well as the touch of it.
It's just more than I like. But I do like the V1. I've used it for a couple weeks, a little bit, as we do a little more work with this customer, and I use that laptop more. I will use it more, but I'm like, oh yeah, I want to use that keyboard and I want to use it, with my laptop if I was, again, away from my desk and not on there or on my desktop. Again, and you can see, the size is considerably smaller, but that was exactly what I was looking for. Doesn't have quite as much thunk.
Interesting to me, the keys on the Q13 are so much deeper as well than these are, and the whole keyboard sits up deeper. That difference is surprising to me as well.
There are the whole layout of this one is angled, and the V1 has feet on it that you can actually kick up. It's got two different
very
levels.
Old school.
Yeah, very old school to have the
I remember the
feet so you can kind of
do the other one.
Sure. So you can kick it up to get that, I don't know, more natural, less natural, unnatural. And I did buy the wrist rest for both of them. Because I'm like, and the great thing is it tucks them out. I'm like, oh, the wrist rest is sticking out. The wrist rest is deeper on this end. So I flip it up. And so it's kind of got that triangular shape. So it sits up really nicely and is out of the way when I'm using the rest of my desk when I want to write or something.
Nice.
When I don't flip it down, slide it out, off we go.
Nice.
So, but yeah, definitely if you're looking for a smaller format, if you want a 75, don't need the number pad, don't want something that weighs 10 pounds or need something that's, quite as, I would almost call it industrial as the Q13 Max. The V1 Max is a fantastic keyboard. Again, Bluetooth, 2.4 gig. You can use it on both. You can replace any of the switches, any of the keys, and customize it however you like. I do really like the feature there, and you can see the volume knob is over there. And again, you can program that to do other things as well. I like the one-touch mute, so I'm not looking for, oh, hey, where's the mute up there? Which one of those is that? Do I have to hit function to do that? Boom, just do it, and it's not making annoying or whatever. In meetings, I'm like, oh, you're really loud, you're really soft. I really like that feature. The Dell key's in a good spot. I do like it on the Q13. It's nice and separated. I'm like, I use that key a lot. So,
right. Backspace and delete. Definitely know where both those are.
Right, absolutely. So, yeah, definitely check out the Keychron V1 Max if you're in the mode for a Keychron. Certainly want all those Keychron features in a smaller format than something like the Q13 Max. But yeah, I like it, and I want to use it more. So as I get more in depth with that other one, I'm looking forward to it. Not going, oh, I have this little flat clunker. So and the price is not bad. Certainly it doesn't have that. It does have a premium price for what it is. You can buy a lot cheaper keyboards. You get what you pay for, and I find there's value in the Keychrons. I was a little hesitant for what I paid for that one, but again, there were not a lot of choices in Ergo split keyboards.
No, but I'm really glad you went with it. You've been really happy with it. It's really, I don't know, I guess the key here is, did it increase your productivity? I don't know. It makes you happier, which makes you more productive.
Which makes me more productive. I'm not like, I got to go over and use that crappy flat, came with it keyboard. Well, there's probably a dozen of those in the closet. I need to throw 7 or 8 of them away.
Well, be sure and comment below. Tell us what your favorite feature on a keyboard is, what you look for in a keyboard. We'd love to hear the differences. Who's used a Keychron before?
But yeah, if you're out there looking for one, I again, was a little hesitant. Watched a zillion YouTube videos. So hopefully if you're looking for keyboards and you want to check one out, hopefully you're watching our videos. We do have the Q13 Max video where we do the unboxing, but definitely wanted to show them side by side or top to bottom there for the for the differences. And again, their quality. I don't, after the fact, and what I paid for that one, I'm like, okay, that was money well spent. And that, I mean, it's gonna last forever. And if it ever, it's like, oh, this is annoying me, I'll start, replacing switches, and I will remember to please be gentle.
Be gentle.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us today. Yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what kind of keyboards you like. Tell us, oh my gosh, Keychrons, I don't love them. Tell us you do love them. Tell us, I like this one or that one. If you've tried that $400 one, I would love to hear about that, because I'm not there yet. But
we're going to need an upgrade someday.
I'm fascinated by the programmability and the magnetic switches. And I'm like, am I cognizant enough of my key presses to really know the difference between, setting 1 and setting 3? I don't know. I just don't know if I'm that tied in and ready to notice that. But if Keychron, you want to send me one to try out and do a review of, I would be glad to do that. So I will absolutely shill to play with one of the fancy toys. So thank you all for joining us for Fellowship of Geeks. I'm Jim.
I'm Diane. Have a great night.